So today's topic is, what do I do with my business time? So I feel like that is something, especially with a lot of the new coaches that we have on our team. I don't think anybody was able to hop on live this morning, but we are getting lots and lots of new people on our team, and you all are adding a lot of new coaches as well. And so I wanted to kind of go through exactly what I do when I sit down to work my business every day, because honestly, feel like I have finally found a routine and like a schedule that is working, because I'm already at Success Club 8, and it's only the 10th of November. And I actually have another girl that was supposed to sign up yesterday that would put me at SC10 already. So I feel like when I find stuff that is working for me, that I want to share it with you guys so you can implement whatever parts of it that you want to, that you think will work for you, and go from there. Because I also want to throw it out there that working this business is different for everyone. Every single top coach that you can follow and learn from does things differently, and literally no two people do things exactly the same, and that is one thing that is so great about this business. So let's start with on Sundays. So kind of what I do on Sunday is to get ready for the week. I don't really do a lot of like intentional like inviting or anything like that on Sundays. I try to keep Sundays more just to like myself and doing things to get myself prepared for the week, and kind of schedule things out and outline things to make things easier through the week when I'm so busy. So usually what I will do is sit down like on Sunday morning and create my meal plan, which you all have seen that before. Let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen. I don't remember how to do that. Share. Do that one. Share. Let me know if y'all can y'all see my screen? Yes. Okay. Now I can't get that to go away. There we go. So this is actually my posting schedule. So we're going to go back. And one thing I just want to throw out there is that when I'm the most successful in my business is when I'm the most organized. So finding a way to stay organized that works for you is super important. So this is kind of how I do my meal plan. I will have each day of the week, and then I put however many containers of each I'm supposed to have. And I will just go through and fill out what I'm going to have for the week. And then at the bottom is usually where I just go ahead and make my grocery list. So that is like the first thing that I do on Sunday, because if we are not focused on our own journey and doing what we need to do for ourselves to stay on track, stay healthy, stick with our programs, then it's going to be really hard to be successful in other areas of our business. So that's what I do first on Sundays. The second thing I do on Sundays is go to this, well, they keep jumping around, posting schedule that I've made, which is super simple, you guys. And no, I don't stick to this 100% every single week. I just get some ideas out there. That way, if I'm stuck on any certain day on what to post about, I can go to this schedule and look and see and get an idea of where to start. So I just have the week Monday through Sunday, and I just pick some things that I might want to talk about. So I had said swapping out natural products and hormone balance. Tuesday, I keep trying to do like a Tasty Tuesday to share a recipe, or something like how to swap out healthy things. Wednesday, I do something workout related. Usually try to, on this one, I have Thankful Thursday, talking about the Beachbody community and coaching, talking about Shakeology on Friday. I didn't schedule anything for Saturday. And then for Sunday, I said post a transformation with a Shift Shop invite. And so when I am making this posting schedule, I make sure that at least one of those per week is an invite to something, either a coaching invite, a challenge group invite, whatever that is. And then throughout the rest of my posts throughout the week, I am trying to just like breadcrumb little things about my life and about coaching and how I'm incorporating that into my life, and just kind of giving people an inside look into my life and what it looks like every day, and trying to connect with as many people as possible. And I don't know if you all saw this little document that I shared a couple of days ago. It's called Captions That Convert. And I love this because I know that posting is kind of something that a lot of us struggle with. And it's like, okay, I know I need to post something today, but what do I post? And this has helped me so much. So if you have not gone to this little document and read it, please do. So basically she says, I'll just give a quick overview, that social media needs to be the handshake, the hello, and the invitation. It's not your sales pitch, and it needs to inspire action because action leads to sales. So basically your Instagram or your Facebook feed should tell the story of your life. They should be able to look at the first like 9 pictures or so on your Instagram and be able to see the story that you are telling about yourself. The main objective of posting is creating a connection. So instead of posting just song lyrics, share something about yourself that will draw people in and make you feel relatable. Focus on telling a story, especially when you're sharing your work. So with us, instead of like just sharing your transformation and saying like, oh, look at my before and afters, I lost 10 pounds. Like, go a little bit deeper into that and to tell a part of your story along with that. So like before what I started this is what my life was like. And after, this is what it's like now. So kind of like by sharing that story, you're inviting them into your life. And then give your feed diversity. So don't just share about Beachbody and just about working out or just about your shake. So that can kind of always feel like you're in a sales pitch mode, but instead share bits and pieces that will make people like you and thus feel more connected to what you're doing. And she goes through a couple examples of like a caption and then how to revamp it to make it better. And then something that she suggests is when you're getting started writing a post, read it out loud. And does it sound like something that you would say in a conversation with somebody? Or does it sound like super salesy and scripted and not natural? And then also she said, I had never thought to do this before, but she was like, look at your picture and record a voice note of you explaining that picture or explaining the story behind that picture, and then go back and listen to what you said and then write out your post based on that. And then she also gives some ideas for caption starters. I actually used this one this morning when I posted. So I used the one that was like, if I could tell my 15-year-old self anything, it would be, and I used 18 instead of 15. But besides like starting out with something like that, tell a little bit of a story to give more insight into yourself. And then every single post should have some kind of engagement booster on it, because that is what we're looking for. Like, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers. If only 100 of them are actively engaging with you, then like, what's the point of all those other followers if they're not really caring and invested in what you're posting? So double tap if you agree with what I talked about, or tag your best friend or someone who needs to hear this message. Describe your weekend in an emoji, all of those things. So like today I asked a question at the end. So I said, I'll just read it because it was super quick. I said, if I could tell my 18-year-old self anything, it would be to slow down. I was always in a rush, going from one thing to another, getting finished with something just so I could move on to something else. Go, go, go. School, relationships, everything was 100 miles an hour. But the greatest things in life are found when we slow down, get quiet, and tell our minds to relax. And I know that's not easy to do, y'all. It just takes lots and lots of practice. The slow, quiet moments I've created in my everyday life save me. They keep me sane. They keep my anxiety at ease. They keep me focused on what's most important. If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you say? Comment below. So basically just something asking them to engage with my post by commenting or liking it, something of that nature. And then if you're feeling stuck, she goes on like what to do if you're feeling stuck, some calls to action that you can use, and just other things that you could talk about to create connection with people, like what's your Starbucks order? If you were stranded on a deserted island and could only eat one thing, what would it be? Just things like that. So if you haven't checked that out, I would definitely recommend it. And it can definitely help you with scheduling out your posts and coming up with some ideas and stuff to talk about. I also did a Instagram training last night from Jenna Kutcher, who's the girl who created this. She went from like 1,800 followers on Instagram to now having over 155,000. So she was a photographer, and now she has her own podcast. She does all kinds of things. But it was very, very useful in about how to strategize your Instagram to help your business. And it was very helpful. So I will find the link to that and share it. It was just a free webinar. So, I would highly suggest it if anybody is thinking about it. So that is what I do on Sundays. And then for the rest of my week, when I sit down and work my business when I get home I do it at least 45 minutes of intentional focus time. And I use the, I don't know what you call it, like the outline that Katie shared with us a month or so ago about, I used to try to do all the things every day. Like I used to try to connect with people every day, follow new people, invite people, follow up, comment on pictures. Like I used to try to do it all every day. And I always got to the end of my hour and I felt like I hadn't really accomplished anything. So on Mondays, I focus on adding to my network. And so I will sit down and literally set a timer for 30 or 45 minutes and do nothing but follow new people on Instagram or add friends on Facebook. And I just go to people who are similar to me. I look at their followers. Like Katie said the other day, she went to Lauren Daigle's page and went to her followers and followed a bunch of people from there. Just because like you'll at least have something in common with them. You can search by location, which is really helpful, especially if you're trying to reach more people in your area, which is something that I'm trying to do. So something that I have been doing is going to a boutique page that is here close to my house and just seeing all of the girls who follow that boutique, because more likely than not, I'm probably going to have something in common with a lot of them. So I will literally just go there and follow as many people as I can in those 30 to 45 minutes. And then a couple days after that, I will go to my followers app on my phone, which Katie also told us about. Thanks, girl. And here's what it looks like, if y'all can see it. It's this little followers thing right there. It's got a bunch of little people, different rainbow colors. But you can go to that and it will refresh. It connects to your Instagram and it will show you your new followers that you have, and it will show you people who have not followed you back. So if I followed all these people and only some of them are going to actually follow you back. So if someone didn't follow me back within a couple of days, I will go back in and unfollow them. Just because I only want to be connected with people who want to be connected with me too. So that's what I do. And then I also try to write their names down in the tracker that I have, which I stopped sharing my screen and I shouldn't have. So Emily created this, and I love it. It works so good. So this is what I did for October. You have their name. You can put their Instagram handle in there, because some people's names don't come up if you search them, so you need to actually know what their handle is. Communication type, whether it was Facebook, if you texted them, or if it was Instagram, whatever. Did they say yes, they're interested, no, they're not interested, or did they not respond? And then I have a column here for if I added them to the sneak peek group or not. The prompt, which was either did I message her, did she message me, did she respond to a poll I did on my stories, whatever it is. I put in the date that I followed up with them, and then any notes that you want to put about whatever kind of conversation you had with them. So the people that are in yellow, I highlighted them if they were super interested and I needed to make sure to follow up with them again or set up a phone call with them or whatever. If they're green, then that means that they actually signed up and joined as a coach or just got started on their journey. I think that was it for that. Basically, every time I would do anything, people who would follow me back, I go in and put their name in on here so I know to go back and connect with them more. Can I share that? Yes, I can. So I've only been using this since the middle of October, and it has been so great. So on Tuesdays, what do I do? So literally that's all I focus on Monday. It's just expanding my network, finding new people, and posts. Whatever posts that I have committed myself to, I try to do something to add some kind of value on my page every day. So on Tuesday is basically, it's called combo starter days. So literally what I will do is go to my Instagram and I will set a timer. Again, I literally work from timers anymore because if I don't, then I let myself get distracted. So I set a timer and I will just start watching people's Instagram stories. And basically, I skip over the people who I don't need to connect with, like if it's y'all or if it's other top coaches, anything like that. I just go to people who either I'm kind of friends with or are new followers, and I will just watch stories and reply to people's stories and try to start some kind of conversation with them. And I really try to focus my mind on the fact that that is not work. I try to just look at it as, okay, I'm just watching Instagram stories, having fun, and trying to talk to people about whatever they're doing. So I will do that for 30, 45 minutes. And then I will also go back and all of my new followers, I can go to my app, remember? That shows me who my new followers are. It will let you go to their page from that app. It will take you directly to their page. And I will do the 5-3-1 thing that I mentioned the other day. So I will like 5 of their photos, comment on 3 of them, and then they'll still have that one. The one is you following them. So that means they're going to get 9 notifications that show your name. So basically they see that oh, she's actually interested in me. So I will do that. And I will also use Tuesdays to go back and unfollow all the people who didn't follow me back, which I already mentioned. And you can also, if you because sometimes you can literally watch all of the stories of the people that you follow, and then you still have 15 minutes or something of time to do something with. So I will go and reach out to the new followers, which is kind of like Katie mentioned earlier, which is just sending them a message and saying hey, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for following me. I can't wait to connect with you. Or I'm so glad that we connected. Just something simple like that to get, basically just to get yourself in their inbox so they're seeing your stuff. And so then my normal just posting and keeping up with the challenge group and things like that every day. So then that brings us to Wednesday, which Wednesdays are my inviting days, my invite and follow-up days. I can find my sheet somewhere. Where did it go? So one other thing that I will usually try to do on Tuesday, I can't find it, is fill out my invite sheet, which I've talked about a couple of times just because it's really helping me. And it's just the page that has the 50 people on there. And I will literally, before I even think about sitting down to invite people, I fill out that entire sheet with 50 people. And if I have time on Tuesday, I do it on Tuesday. That way on Wednesday, I can literally just sit down with my sheet, write out an invitation to whatever I'm inviting to that day, and just power through and invite my 50 people. And so I did that on Thursday this week, actually. But I have, like I was saying a minute ago, I have like 21 messages that I need to reply to from those invites. And all of those are not going to be people who were interested, but at least I think it's just as good if someone writes you back saying, no, I'm not interested right now, as if they had said, yes, they were, because at least they took the time to read what you said and respond to you. So then I will send out all those invites, and that's basically what I focus on Wednesdays. And then I will also go back to my tracker and see, okay, who do I need to follow up with today? And I will also do that and just follow up with those people and say, hey, just wanted to check back in. A lot of times I'll say something like, so sorry, I'm just now getting back to you. I didn't want you to think I forgot about you. Just wanted to see if you were still interested. And a lot of times I get good responses from that. So Thursday and Friday are kind of like my catch-all days. I will just focus on whatever I feel like I need to. You can, if you want, I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this. Basically, instead of spending 45 minutes on one single thing on Thursdays and Fridays, I kind of just do a little bit of everything on Thursday and Friday. So I will add to my network for 20 minutes. I will go through and try to start some new conversations with people for 20 minutes. And then I will catch up with all of the responses that I got from my invites that I sent on Wednesday. And basically that's what I do on Thursday and Friday, is just focus on that and focus on keeping the conversations going that started because of the invites or because of the replying to stories, whatever that I did that day, or from that week. And then if I need to do any kind of other business work, like if I want to listen to a training, or if I want to, I prep for the team calls on Thursday, Friday, stuff like that is what I do on those days. And then I kind of do the same thing on Saturday. I just set aside a little bit of time to get back to people who are messaging me or what in the world, or need help with anything, things like that. And then we kind of just start it all over every week. And one thing that I have been trying to focus on is if I get somebody who either reaches out to me or that I invite, and they're super interested and they have all these questions, I will try to get them on the phone instead of trying to answer all their questions through Messenger, because that's really hard, I think, personally, and it takes a lot of time. And I usually will just say something like, hey, would you want to just hop on the phone really quick one day, either tonight or tomorrow, and I can explain everything and it will be so much easier. And most of the time they say yes. I very rarely have somebody say no. And then I can hop on the phone with them for 20 minutes and explain everything, and most of the time it ends with them ready for me to send their share card to them. So it's not like it's rocket science or anything, but we can kind of just psych ourselves out and not really know what we need to do when we sit down, or we kind of procrastinate and we don't sit down to physically work because we're like, what do I do? What do I need to do? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's basically the gist of it. I feel like that was kind of all over the place, but does anybody have any questions about all of that? I can unmute everybody, or you can unmute yourself if you want to talk. Does that all make sense?
Yeah. So can your invite, when you do your invite, can you kind of give us an idea what you say when you're doing that?
I can. So pretty much every week, my new goal for myself is to invite at least 50 people every week. Because before I wasn't really tracking it in any sort of way. And so I thought I was inviting and doing what I was supposed to, but I really wasn't, and I just didn't realize it. So this week I actually started inviting to the 3-day refresh that we're going to do after Thanksgiving. So this was my invite this week. I said, hey, Paige, I don't know if you would be interested or not, but I know the holidays are coming up, and this is usually the hardest time of year when it comes to our health. It's so easy to put it on the back burner and just say, I'll start in January, but I would love to help us change that mindset. After Thanksgiving, I'm going to host a 3-day turkey detox, followed by starting a workout program to help us finish the year proud of ourselves. Would you be interested in participating or know anyone who would be? And that's what I use, and I have like 21 people to respond to from that. Like I sent out 50. I think it ended up being 47 because as I went through the people I had written down to invite, some of them, when I got to message them, I could go back and see the conversation that we'd had before, and they were either already a coach or were working with a coach already, so I didn't reach out to them again. So I think it ended up only being 47 people. But like 21, 22 responses out of 40 is pretty good. 47 is pretty good response from that. So I try to make it, I'll be honest, I sent basically the exact same message to everyone unless it was somebody who I had talked to recently. And so then I kind of would change it a little bit to make it more focused on them and kind of saying like, hey, I know we just talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to make sure you knew I was doing this, just so it doesn't sound so like cookie cutter and like I just copied and pasted it. If that makes sense.
So for anyone that had contacted you, like say months ago or something, and they said they couldn't afford it, are you pushing where it's the $20 off?
Yeah.
You're sending that and letting them know about that?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I would definitely do that. And a lot of people who are saying like, if anybody gives you that objection that they just can't afford it right now, like tell them that it's $20 off and that it's only going to be for this month. And this is literally the only time of year that they do that. And they do it pretty much every November, December, but it's the only time of year that you can get it for $140 instead of $160. So I would definitely do that. And especially if you have kind of like a list of people who you know that was the only thing holding them back. Like that's actually a really good point because I have a list of people who want to do it, but they were just saving up for it. And I need to check back with them and say, hey, like it's actually on sale right now. If you've been saving up, now would be a good time. So I need to go back and find those people. It's a good idea. Was that helpful at all? Just to kind of know what to do. Emily and I are getting ready to start putting together a new coach university, and it's going to kind of be like a website that everyone will be able to go to and be like a 14-day new coach training. And I think it'll be really helpful for all of us with signing up new coaches and getting them started right, and so they can be successful right off the bat. Ashley Malstad and Emily Favre, who are the number 1 and number 3 coaches in the network, have this, and that's where we got the idea. So we're actually having a call, me and her, just the two of us tomorrow, to talk about that and kind of get it in outline and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. We got like 20 more minutes. I should have made like a PowerPoint or something to go through with this, so it would have been easier to follow.
I think I need to use a timer.
Yeah, the timer really helps.
Yeah. I guess I track too easy. And I think it's just like in the shift shop, I was so like during the proving grounds, like I'm so focused on like doing as much as I can in that time. Like I feel like I'd be the same way with working. Like if I see a timer, I'm like, oh crap, like I've got to actually work for that set amount of time.
Yeah. And it keeps you focused. Like with so much of what we do for our business being on social media, it's so easy to get caught just scrolling and looking at stuff when we're supposed to be working. But if you have a timer, then you're like trying to like beat the clock pretty much, just like you said. It works. It helps me a lot. Oh, one thing I didn't go through that I wanted to go through is how I start my day every day, being super intentional. Like I know not everyone is a morning person, but I am just such a firm believer in starting your day with a routine the exact same way every day. And I honestly feel like that is why I have been so successful in my own journey this year and also with my business. Like, this isn't necessarily like the best year I've ever had as far as Success Club points go or anything like that, but just like consistently with my own journey and with my business, this is the most consistent I've ever been, is 2018. And I think that's because in January, when I started 80 Day Obsession, I found and created a morning routine that I literally do not veer from ever. Like I get up every single day. It's like a non-negotiable thing. Like I used to talk myself out of getting up in the mornings, but it's not even like a question anymore just because it's become so second nature. So and everyone's morning routine is going to look different and feel different. Things are going to feel good for you. But I want to share what I do every morning just because it's really helped me. So I actually started getting up 30 minutes earlier this week. So I was getting up at like 4:15, which is insane, I know. But I kept being late for work and I really wanted to actually be on time. So I am just not willing to sacrifice that time for myself in the mornings. It's just that important to me. So I started getting up earlier. I literally get up, put on my workout clothes, fix some Energize, and I sit down on my couch with my journal. Oh, there's my paper I was looking for. I have a journal that I write in every single morning, and I literally open it up and I write down. This is something that I just started this week, but I kind of created like a morning mantra that I try to focus on every day. And the one I've been writing down is, I am abundant, healthy, and grateful for everything that I get to do today. So I write that down, and then I write down, today I'm thankful for, and I write down 3 things that I'm thankful for, and just focus my mind on something. And sometimes I can pop out 3 things I'm grateful for super fast. And sometimes it takes me a few minutes to sit there and really think back to like, okay, what happened yesterday that I can be grateful for, or what has happened so far this morning that I can be grateful for. And sometimes I'm grateful for my blanket that I can sit there and cover up with and be warm and cozy. Like some things as simple as that, all the way to being grateful for your job or whatever. But just focusing yourself on being grateful and gratitude in the mornings. And then I write down my goals / affirmations. Let me go grab it. So this is my little book, and I literally have like a page for every day. It's nothing fancy. It's just a blank notebook. But the goals that I write these things down every single day, and it has taken a while, but these things are like really starting to actually happen. So I write down, I'm a 2-star diamond coach who earns $2,000 per week. I hit Success Club 20 every month with a minimum of 4 points per week. I show up for my team and lead by example. I'm smart with my money and spend and save wisely. I'm debt-free. I love myself and give myself grace daily. I'm the coach and leader my team and challengers need. My feed provides value to my followers. I live my life for Jesus and actively seek his presence. I respond to all situations with love. I attract women who need and who are ready for what I have to offer. And I'm ready for massive success and growth. So I literally write down those things every single morning. And they're starting to happen. Like the Success Club 20 with 4 points a week is happening. Like it's happened the last 2 weeks. And like being smart with my money and spending and saving wisely. Like writing that down every morning makes me think when I'm getting ready to swipe my card or put my card in online to buy something that I don't really need, because I wrote that down in the morning, it makes me like stop and think like, okay, do I really need to do this right now or not? And just like whatever we focus on is what we're going to find and what we're going to manifest and create in our lives. So starting your morning intentionally focusing on the things that you want and like being debt free. Like I'm not debt free right now, but I say it like I am, like in the present tense. So I write those things down every morning. And sometimes it feels like kind of silly or tedious. And it's like you literally write these things down every single day. And sometimes I'm like, feel like I'm wasting time by writing it down, but I make myself do it anyways. And I know that one day I'll be able to say all of those things happen. And the last one I love because so I'm ready for massive success and growth. So basically I'm putting it out there that I'm ready for it. Like I'm ready for things to start changing and for things to take off and for my business to be something that can help me to walk away from corporate America. And just whatever you put out is what you get back. So just focusing on those things. And then I do my brain dump, which is like my list of things that I need to get done that day, which really helps me stay focused and make sure I'm actually getting everything done that I need to get done. And putting it down on paper like that makes it a little bit less overwhelming for me because at least I have somewhere to start. Like I can pick one thing to start with. So today I wrote down team call, workout, answer all of your messages, make a post, go shopping for a baby gift, do laundry, and I'm going to go ahead and make my meal plan and grocery list today. And so by writing those down, I'm way more likely to actually do them all. So I do that, and then I open up the Bible, my First 5 app on my phone. I read a devotion real quick. I will do like a 5-minute meditation after that. And I use my phone for that as well. I have an app that I use called Shine. And then I will kind of let the music from the meditation keep playing, and I will do just a few minutes. I've just started doing this week because I do believe that it's powerful and it's something that I want to create a habit of, but is visualizing what I want my life to look like. So focusing on what my life is going to be and look like when I am living every day exactly the way I want to. So, and that's hard. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried visualization practices, but it is hard to like focus your mind and basically like try to create it in your mind what you want your life to be every day. So basically what I try to think about is if I'm living my life exactly the way I want, what does it look like when I wake up in the morning? What do I do? What does my day look like? What kind of car am I driving? What kind of house am I living in? What kind of trips am I getting to take? Just something like that, and actually try to like feel yourself being there and in that moment. And so then after that, I read my book for like 10 minutes before I do my workout. And that sounds like a lot, but so much of that is like super quick. Like writing everything down, reading my devotion and all that, like is super quick. So it usually takes me about an hour to get through all of that before I press play on my workout. And sometimes a little bit less. It just depends on how much lollygagging and procrastinating I do. But I can usually get done with all of that in less than an hour before I do my workout. And that's just my routine every day. Like I got up and did it this morning before this call just because I knew if I didn't do it in the morning, then it wasn't going to get done. So if you don't have a morning routine already, I highly, highly recommend that you create one because it just makes everything so much easier. And starting your day intentionally just makes everything, it makes the whole rest of your day easier and more productive. And just starting it in that right frame of mind is so important. So, does anybody else have a morning routine that they really like? Or need to create one? Who needs one?
Well, I kind of have one, but then, like, I don't know. Okay, so I like getting up and working out better in the morning. Like, I feel like I'm more focused and I like my morning routine. But I am so tired when I get home in the afternoon on that I wake up earlier that I'm not productive in the afternoon. And it makes that hard. But if I sleep in a little bit and just read my book in the morning and not work out when I get home in the afternoon and work out, I'm more productive in the afternoon. So I don't know. I haven't found what I really like better.
Right. That's hard. I mean, there literally are some days, like there was days this week where I just wanted to come home and get on the couch and do nothing. Like the day Thursday when I made that live video literally was this close to doing nothing, even though I had been telling myself all week I was going to invite 50 people. And I almost didn't. And I texted Emily for the sole purpose because I knew that whatever she said to me would make me actually do it. And I just needed somebody to tell me to get off my butt and do what I needed to do. So I texted her and I was like, I need to send out 50 invites tonight, but literally all I want to do is drink wine and sit on my couch. Help. And she literally told me, she was like, go back and read over your goals. And what did she say? I said, I've got 50 invites to send tonight, and all I want to do is drink a glass of wine and go to bed. Help. She said, how would you feel tomorrow if you did that? How powerful is that question? Like, oh my Lord. Like, how would you feel tomorrow if you did whatever it is that you're trying to, if you didn't do whatever you're trying to talk yourself out of? Whether that's doing your workout, eating a healthy meal, or working on your business, any aspect of your life. How would you feel tomorrow if you didn't do it? Or how, if I eat this fast food, how is that going to make me feel tomorrow? Like that question can change your life. Like seriously. So she said that. How would you feel tomorrow if you did that? Look at your goals in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just do it. And so that's what I did. I thought about it and I was like, if I do this, if I pour a glass of wine and sit here on my couch and do nothing, how is that going to make me feel? I'm going to feel like stupid. I'm going to be like, why did I do that? Why did I do that to myself? And this was literally at like 6:30 p.m., you guys. Like, if I didn't sit down and send out my invites, what else was I going to do? Sit on the couch and watch Grey's Anatomy. That's what I would have done. And that is not going to get me anywhere. Like, I wasn't going to go to bed at 6:30, even though I could have. Like, I wasn't going to do that. So it's like when we psych ourselves out of things because we think it's going to be so hard. If I sit down at my computer to work right now, it's going to be so hard. And I don't feel like it right now. But how hard is it to go to bed not doing what you know you should have done and wake up the next day and feel like crap because you're like, man, I should have done that? Or to wake up in 5 years and say, I'm still in the exact same place I was because I kept sacrificing whatever I felt like doing instead of doing what I know I should have done and hustled, and I could have been living a better life in 5 years. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. That was just for me.
Quit being lazy in the afternoon.
Huh?
So I need to get up in the morning and quit being lazy in the afternoon.
Yes. And sometimes I will drink like half a scoop of Energize when I get home from work. If I'm feeling like that, if I'm feeling like, oh, I'm just tired and I just don't want to do anything, like, don't drink a full scoop because you'll never go to bed. But I will drink like half a scoop and then be like, okay, just sit down. And that is what I talked about the other night. Like, sometimes just physically sitting down and starting is the hardest thing. But if you just make yourself do it, then the rest of it just goes. Like, literally writing out that invitation, that message was the hardest part about what I did Thursday night. But after I did that, sending out 50 invites was like super quick. And then I was done. And then I was like, okay, yes, like, I did it. That was I like followed through for myself. And I felt so much better than I would have if I had just went to bed and not done it.
I think about what I need to do when I'm like all the way home from work, and when I pull in the driveway, I have to literally 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 run in the house and start doing what I want to do, or I lay on the couch. Like, it's really,
you can't let yourself sit down.
so drained when I get home. Like, if I sit down, literally I fall asleep. Like, not gonna lie, I got up the other morning and worked out, but when I came home, I was like, oh, I've already worked out. I don't really have anything that I need to do. And I laid on the couch and I fell asleep at 3:30, and Oriam came home at 6, and I had been asleep for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
the
I just
same way.
slept the next night, or that night, because I've been sleeping all afternoon.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, when I come home, if I have things to do, like, I cannot let myself sit down on the couch and start watching TV, or I will not get up. Like, it's like a sickness, I feel like. Like, it's like you sit down and you're just stuck. Like, you literally cannot make yourself get up. And so I just had to stop doing that. I literally will come in the door, put my stuff down. I will go put on comfy clothes, and I will sit down here at the kitchen table and start doing whatever it is I'm supposed to get done. And I will look at the clock and say, it's 5:30. I'm going to work for 45 minutes. That means I'm going to be done at 6:15. Like, 6:15 and I'm done. Like, then I can enjoy and do whatever I want for the rest of the night. Like, literally, if we break it down into 45 minutes of being intentional and focusing on what we're doing for 45 minutes, like, my goodness, it's 45 minutes, right? Sorry, I don't mean to like be preaching, but I'm just like having these, like, these are just epiphanies for myself. So I'm like, why do I put it off and like sabotage myself over being lazy? Like, it's just, when I have epiphanies, I have to share them.
Oh. Can I just say, Katie, you looking skinny, girl.
I know.
Girl, I'm like sitting there staring at you. I'm like, Katie looks so skinny.
You look
Thanks. I haven't lost any more weight. Like, I've been stuck at the same weight for like 3 or 4 weeks now.
I have too, and so I just put it weighing.
Yeah, me too.
So, guys,
Well, that's a lie. I got it on the scale
Today,
can I tell y'all? Oh. Can I tell y'all what I'm struggling with?
well, yeah.
I feel like I'm eating the same thing, and now, like, I don't want to stay on my nutrition plan because I feel like I've eaten the same thing for months now. I need new recipes.
Get on Fixate.
How do you?
Oh yeah, I could do that.
No, I just feel I'm just like.
What do you eat?
I just have all these resources at my fingertips.
I know.
Gotta use them. I was the same way, and I had to mix it up.
So I just bought a spaghetti squash. Do y'all count that as a green, or what do y'all count that as?
I count it as a green.
Okay, I didn't know if you counted it as a
Okay, so I was scared. Well, this week I could only have 1 carb, and I was scared that if I counted it as a vegetable, then I'd be eating 2 carbs. So this week I counted it as a carb just to be precautious, but normally I'd count it as a vegetable. So I don't know.
Okay.
See, I count it as a vegetable because I wasn't allowed to have carbs. I was on week 3, so no carbs. And I counted it as a vegetable because in my brain, that's what it is. So, because Katie, didn't you say in the plan it's both?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's confusing.
It says on the Shift Shop plan, it says for week 2 it says under carbs winter squash, and then in parentheses it says spaghetti squash, and then on the vegetable list it says summer squash and winter squash.
Yeah, that's confusing. Well,
So I don't know.
I count it as a vegetable. I don't know if that's right, but it's really good with the turkey sloppy joes. Like, really good.
You want to know what's funny? My new stepmom, whatever she is, because we've been friends for so long. Anyways, she was eating the same thing this week for lunch, and we didn't know it. And I was like, oh, well, because we share recipes back and forth. I was like, I had this really good recipe. And she was like, me too. And I was like, okay, I'll go first. And then she was like, that's so crazy. I had the exact same thing.
That's funny.
So we both had the same thing for lunch this week.
That's funny. I'm going to stop recording.